Okay, here's a quick video of me putting together my grandmother's recipe that she taught me years ago. Schiavoni Italian sauce and homemade meatballs. Now, she used to use stuff right out of the garden and stuff back in the day, but then in the latter times, then she started using stuff out of a can. It was a little easier, obviously, as she got older, but the best way is always out of the garden. But we're in the middle of winter, so I have no garden. So I'm going to use these diced tomatoes. You can use whole tomatoes and crush them yourself, but I use the diced tomatoes. I'm making enough for at least 10 people or more, so that's why I got the recipe's actually doubled up. So everything's double the amount here. I got this, what are these cans here? So I got two 28-ounce cans of diced tomatoes, and I got two 18-ounce cans of tomato paste. And then we have salt, pepper, basil, sweet basil I like to get, but I haven't been able to find that. Garlic powder and parsley. I mean, you could actually use garlic cloves and stuff and go old school, but I'm taking an easier route today. And then they have I have about 5 pounds or more of meat. Basically, this is the what do we call it? 80% lean, 20% fat. Try to keep it a little healthy. Got my bread over here, about 4 pieces of Italian bread drying out there so I can make some nice breadcrumbs. And of course, the secret ingredient that I put into my meatballs is lemon grind. Then I got this big pot over here getting ready to go. This is a huge pot. And then I have my Italian sausage. I like to cook it up first in a pan and then put it in the sauce and let the sauce cook it the rest of the way. Same thing with my meatballs. I roll them out and brown them in a pan first and then let them sit in the sauce for like 2-3 hours or whatever. And then it gets a nice flavor. To mention, I also put milk in the meatballs. I usually use like about a half a cup because I'm using so much meat. You filming?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm putting these diced tomatoes in here. The lid just fell in there. That's nice. 228 ounce, I believe that's 28 ounce, right? Does that say 28 ounce on there?
Yeah.
Cans of diced tomatoes. And you kind of like crush them up with your hands a little bit more. Break it down. I don't mind having some chunks of tomatoes. Is nice in the sauce. Not trying to make any puree over here or anything like that. Then I get a full cup of, or I should say a full can of water. And I should already have the can filled, but now I can rinse my hand off. Okay. Now comes the fun part. Pause it for a second. So my original, the recipe that I wrote and my grandmother showed me years ago, it was only based on maybe like, it wasn't that many people, let's put it that way. It was like based on maybe like a couple pounds of meat for the meatballs and stuff. So that recipe was, I'm doubling everything up from that original recipe. And in that original recipe, it was like 2.5 pinches. Now, this is interesting about pinches. Basically 2 fingers together and a thumb, and you grab the parsley. It's 1, 2, and then 2 fingers for the half pinch. But we're doubling up, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3. But you know what? You can even get crazier. That would be the base recipe. But I want to have more spices in there. I want to be able to taste the spice. So it can't hurt to put extra in there. But that's just my thing. And then we get some sweet basil. Actually, I don't have sweet basil, but this is regular basil. You go around the rim like 2.5 times. But I hit, again, this is double, so I'm going to be going 5 times. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a couple extra. And then it's 1.5 rounds of garlic around the rim, times 2, so it's 3 rounds. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, a little extra. Get some pepper in there. basically 1 time's good. So again, 1 times 2 is 2 times. I'll give a little extra. And then salt. Again, 2 times around. The original recipe was like 1 time around. Give a little extra. And then we, look at that. That's a nice base right there. Mix that all up. We start with a medium to high flame because we want to get it to start boiling in there. And then once it starts coming to a boil, then we lower the flame. And once it starts to boil, we lower the flame, and then we leave it on here for a half hour and stir it and stuff. And then after that's done, then we add tomato paste and additional water so that we can have a nice sauce going here. And then my next step, while this is happening, I'm going to start cooking the sausage, start making the meatballs. I'll show you that in a second. What I like to do is take the sausages and cut them in thirds. Like that. And then I'm going to, once I cut them all up, I will stand them on end so I can brown the ends, and then I'll put them on their sides and then brown the sides, and then cook them in I'll boil them in a little bit of water, cook them through a little bit more, and then let the sauce take over. And the sauce actually does the cooking all the way through the meat. Once it sits in there for like 3 hours, it'll cook all the way through, and it gives all that extra flavor and stuff. Cool. Okay, I just browned one end of the sausages and turned the other ones that actually have flat ends that could be brown, and the other ones that don't. That's how you see these peaks over here, so I can just put them sideways. The idea is I want to brown the things all the way around so that, it's got that nice brown color to it. And then after I add the paste to the sauce over here, then I'll, add the sausage in there and get my meatballs in there and stuff. Oh, back to the meatballs. I can't believe I forgot to have this ingredient out. Parmesan cheese. You can get like some good Parmesan cheese from Italian delis and stuff like that, but I didn't have time, so I ended up being stuck with this crap, but that'll do. So I'm going to start adding the parsley and the cheese and all these other ingredients to the meatballs. The only thing I don't put in the meatballs that I put in the sauce is I don't put the basil in the meatballs. I coat the top of this meat with it. There's a lot of meat here. There's like 6 pounds of meat in here, so it's almost like you have to put some first and then add a little bit more if you spin it. But let's then put a little bit more. There's a lot of meat. And then we're going to add some Parmesan cheese in there. You want to cover that baby up, just like when it snows outside. Literally use the whole thing practically. Going to add some pepper. I mean, there's no real particular measurement. Kind of every time you make it, you got to see how it comes out and if you like it that way or not. I want to be able to taste these seasonings, so I add a healthy amount. Put some salt in there. And then the next thing I'm going to have to do is make breadcrumbs out of this, and then I take the skin of the lemon, I use the fine thing on the grinder, and I grind, put lemon grinds into the meat. Okay, pause. Another important ingredient I forgot to put in here was the eggs in the beginning. So we actually have eggs in there that helps bind the meat together and stuff. So let me go check my sausages over here. This is cool. Shake some babies up. Nice. Okay, I got some Orlando's Italian deli bread over here. I'll let it dry out a little bit. I'm going to try to make some crumbs. Just like that. That's all you do. You got to break the bread down, make it into crumbs. And what this does is it acts like a cement. It keeps the meat bounded together when you make the meatballs so they don't fall apart. And I'm sure they had some kind of flavor, if anything, I'm not sure. But it's definitely a bonding agent. So kind of like this. Some people like to leave big chunks. You could do that, which is fine. I know, like during the feast when I get the Corbo meatballs and stuff, they do have some big chunks of bread in the meat, and it's actually cool. Okay.
Pause.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this is one piece of bread right here alone. Put it right into the, like that, into the meat. This all get mixed up. Over here, make some more breadcrumbs. So in the beginning of this video, I forgot to have out on the counter, I was missing the eggs and the Parmesan cheese. Those are obviously very important ingredients. And there's so many ways people make sauces, but this is our way. This is a Schiavoni way. I know some people might be watching the video and be like, "Whoa, wow, how come he doesn't add, I don't know, onion or something like that, or red peppers, or who knows? I don't know, whatever they put in there." But every family's got its own traditions. This was the way my grandmother taught me to do it back in like 1992, and I've been doing it that same way since. The only thing I'm doing different is I might add a little bit more of the amounts of spices. Same spices, but just using more of the amount, you know, according to how much meat I'm using and stuff. Yeah, I don't mind leaving some of these bigger chunks of bread. It's kind of cool to have that in the meatballs. Take it over here. Put it right into there. And the sauces are nice and browned all the way around. And now this is finally boiling in here. So now we want to lower the flame to, let's see, where the heck's it at? Just put the flame a little lower so that it's more like a nice simmer, not boiling anymore. And it has to stay in here for like a half hour. If the water starts to evaporate down, what I do is I add a little bit more water, like another half a can, so it doesn't, you know, burn away. And once that's done, in a half hour, I'll add the tomato paste, mix that in with some more water, and then I can add my meats. This. 1, 2. Come on, baby. 3. Again, I got 6 pounds of meat, so I'm using like 4 eggs in here. And then the next step is I got to get my lemon over here. Here, pause it for a second. Filming?
Yeah.
Okay. So half a cup of milk. This adds a nice little zest to the meatballs. A little lemon zest. I know some people are like, what the heck would you put that into the meatballs? But that's how my grandmother did it. And it was extra special. And before you knock it, you have to try it. It's not gross at all. It adds a nice little zest flavor to it. Basically, you cut these lemons in half, and you use the fine side of the grater, or if you have a micro grater, it's even better, but this is old school grater. And you just rock it back and forth, get some of that grime, it sticks on there, eventually it'll start coming through and go into the meat. I don't know if you can see it in there. It'll start coming through. Yeah, you can see some of the little lemon grimes right there. There's one right there. Yeah. That's basically it. Do that to the lemons. Then once you're done with that, then you mix it all together. And start rolling out like golf ball size, or if you want bigger ones, meatballs, and then you brown them in a pan. And add them into the sauce and let the sauce cook it all the way through. Okay. So now you can actually see the lemon zest, which is the the grime, the lemon grime gives it a nice lemon zest to the meat. 6 pounds of meat in here, so there's a lot in here. And then I'll squirt some of the juice in there real nice. Gotta be careful the seeds don't fall in. Nobody wants to bite on a damn seed. If you have a filling in your tooth and it's liable to knock it out, that would not be good. Okay. And then you just don't want to let this go to waste. Get some of this off of here. But I highly recommend getting a micro grinder. A lot easier than this thing. then there's some stuff stuck in there that'll come out. It's okay. So now the next step is get my hands down in and just like mix it all up. Be careful I don't make stuff come over the top like I just did. Almost need a bigger bowl for this amount of meat. Again, this is 6 pounds of meat, so this is putting this bowl to the max here. But that's, you get the idea. You want to try to get the stuff all the way through. There's a lot of meat underneath there that has nothing on it, so you gotta try to get that mixed all the way through. Work it like that. Whatever it takes. Probably need like one of those baking things that stir up the dough. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we got a nice good consistency now. You can see all the, like you can definitely see the parsley mix all the way through. And if the parsley is mixed through, then all the other spices are mixed through too. So anywhere I go in this meat, if I flip it like that, it should be like that all the way through. You see, because if you don't have it all the way through, then a number of meatballs won't have any flavor. So this is perfect. And basically the way I make these meatballs, like again, you just a little bit in your palm. This might be a good size right here. Just roll it up like that, boom. And then you just basically fry it in a pan, flip them upside down, and then do all the other sides. So you got, what is it, 5 sides or 6 sides? Oh. And then put them right into the sauce and let the sauce cook it. Ming. Okay, good. Okay, this has been simmering for a half hour. I'm about to add the paste, tomato paste. We got 2 18-ounce cans. Again, this is like double the recipe. And basically just want to get all that out, all that good stuff out of there. And for each of these cans, I'm going to add 2 cans of water. Actually, 2.5 cans. It's almost. Should be like 5 cans of water, or 4.5 cans of water. There's the one. Some more here. I try to knock some of the paste off the side of the can so I can get all the paste in there. 2. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing to the next one. Okay, pause. Got all my paste in there. I got 2 18-ounce cans of paste, and you can't just leave this paste like this. This has to like get broken down. So you kind of like take the spoon here and smash it, try to break it down and stir it, and you want to get it all mixed through and broken down before you add the meats and stuff. But so you don't want these big big clumps. You don't want that in there like that. That's the paste that needs to be broken down and mixed through the water here. Kind of smear it, smash, break, whatever you want to call it. And then for each of those 2 18-ounce cans, I added 2 cans of water. So that's 4 cans and then half a can. It's based on originally this recipe was designed for 3 6-ounce little cans of paste. And then each of those cans had like 2 cans of water and 1 extra. I don't know how much it really matters, but if you put too much water, it's going to take that much more to boil it back down. Yeah, see, this is starting to break down nice. Now to help it break down even easier, I can add all these sausages here. Let's take these sausages and add it right in there. Like that. Oh, there went one on the floor for the animal. There you go. Cat's gonna love that. So now when you stir it around, those sausages will help break down that paste. And now this can stay on the stove top here for 3 hours at a low simmer. put a lid on there, or if you want to leave the lid off so it boils down quicker, whatever. You just got to kind of keep an eye on it. And I like to stir this sauce every 15 minutes, because if you don't stir it enough, and it start to burn at the bottom and stuff. Honestly, I need to get a much better pot. I have like some metal sheeting shields on the bottom to try to thicken the bottom of the pot, but I got to get a nice copper thick bottom pan that's big. I don't know what quart this is. 12 quart. It says 12 on the side. Cool. Okay, the next step is gonna start rolling up meatballs and fry them and get them in the sauce as well. Cool. Okay, got the meats all ready to go. Now we just got to roll them up into little balls. Preferably a little bit bigger than a golf ball, but that's like a guide. You can hold the golf ball. So basically, let's see. Normally what I do is I do like a little bit like this. This might be too much. Like that, and so I'm rolling that. That's actually a little bit on the big side. Unless you want big meatballs. This right here is probably a nice size right here too. Yeah. So it's a little bit bigger than a golf ball, but that's the idea. So you have one hand down here and one on top, and you like go like that. You want to kind of pack them in like that. You just get what you need there. And if they're a little smaller, it's not too bad. Like this one might be actually a little smaller, but this is still good too. See? Yeah. And then what I do is after we have them all rolled up, I'll start frying them in the pan, browning them. Now some people bake them in the oven. I don't bake them in the oven. I guess that would save time, but I like to brown them in a pan. Basically brown all 6 sides, and then I put them right into the sauce, and the sauce will cook them for the next 2.5 hours or whatever it's in there. Cool. Okay, I got the kids rolling the meatballs today. Let's see how we're doing. Cheese. Gotta get everybody in there. Cheese. Okay, continue. Yeah, those are nice. And I will brown these in a frying pan, all 6 sides, and then I'll put them directly into my sauce and let the sauce cook them through. And what that does is the meat will give off flavors into the sauce, and the sauce will put flavors into the meat, and they complement each other. Comes out really good. Awesome. Let's see how you're doing. See how Christopher's doing it? Do it like that, John. You can move both hands. Make it round. You basically want to compress the meat a little bit in your palm so that, and then make a ball out of it so that it doesn't fall apart in the sauce. If they fall apart in the sauce, it'll just turn into a meat sauce, which ain't bad either, but then we don't have that many meatballs. Okay, doke. Now I'm going to get some of those meatballs and start frying them. And now we're going to put the meatballs into the pan. Let me grab some of these and put them all around the rim so I can start browning them.
I didn't touch it. Put it up.
A couple of these. Boom, boom, boom. That. Okay. And then I'd make another ring on the inside. Roll it a little better so it doesn't fall apart.
Why are your hands so...
That's kind of tiny. Yeah, that one's too tiny. That's a mini ball.
Yeah, I made that one.
That's better. No, Christopher just made that. Or Nicholas just made that one.
I put an extra golf ball. It was like this.
Okay.
You don't want it to be the size of the golf ball.
Yeah.
These are browning real nice. Got to get all the sides. And so you don't have any red like that. Got a little red like that. You got to turn it so I can brown it all the way around. And then I'll put them into the sauce. These ones are done for the most part in the middle. Just go right into the sauce. Look at that. Nice. Sausage. Now I can take all these and just stick them right in there. Just like that. Nice. Stir it around a little bit. Mix it up. Awesome. Okay, browning the last of the meatballs and threw a burger in there to boot. An Italian burger. Nice. That's going to taste real good for lunch. Look how nice this sauce looks. Awesome. Ming. Well, there you have it. Schiavoni, Italian sauce, and the meatballs. Ming meatballs. Nice. Meet the ball. Ming. Ming. Okay, now I'm boiling the pasta. Got some spaghetti. Got some spiral things over there. I took a bunch of meatballs in there. Oh, and here I got the foil on top so it keeps them warm. And I still got a bunch of meatballs and sausage in here. Let's see how that stuff looks. Good color. Yeah, look at that. Wow. Nice. Nice. Yummy. Ming. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, look at that sauce over the spirals. Awesome. Ming. And there you go. Schiavoni, Italian sauce, and homemade meatballs. And some sausage there and some veggies. Ming. Can't wait to dig into that. Nice. Let's see what we got going on over here.
Where's this going
Look at
here?
all those meatballs. Nice. Got the spaghetti over here. Laid out. Okay. Happy New Year's Eve day over here. Nice.
Happy New Year's Eve.
Everybody give me a cheese. Oh, you got a mouthful of food. Look at me. Hey. Cheese. I don't know where Gianna is. Okay, now Gianna's in it. Everybody say cheese.
Cheese.
Look at me. John said. Come on, cheese. Okie doke. Happy New Year's Eve. Ming. Enjoy, manja.